Cool, we record. All right. Left off. We didn't finish, so we didn't have homework, no daily quiz, nothing like that. We're just going to hop in, finish it off. We finished... Did we do 4 and 5? Yeah. We got them done? Cool. Then, that means I think we're going to be very fortunate that we just get one bit of refresher, and then you get time to work. So this is going to be fairly quick. Now, you're not just going to work on that thing and quit. We're going to, we'll give you time to work, and then we'll probably go through some stuff together, make sure everything's great, maybe do more practice. But, word problems. Ew. Next to the word problem, I want you to write something. This is very, 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 very common. This is going to come back to us over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Rate x plus start equals total. Where rate, start, and total are going to be numbers. Okay? Super common. It's called a linear equation. More specifically, if you might remember, slope-intercept form. Okay? It's very common that they write our word problems in this format. Get used to it. Write it down. Big flashing neon sign. It's going to keep coming back to us. Okay? Now this one's already written out for us, but I want you to see that so we understand that it's going to do the thing. Anne wants to send flowers to her 4 assistants. You spend $87 on 4 arrangements, including delivery charge of $15. So even if we didn't see this, do you know a starting amount? Like, you got to pay this, no matter what. You don't just say 87 because it's the first number we see. Read again. You spend 15 just to send stuff. Whether you're sending 1 or 30, $15 you got to spend for the delivery charge. So you start with 15. Do I know a rate? Usually accompanied by the word per or each. It says I have 4 identical arrangements, 4 assistants. I have 4 of a thing. So there's 4 things. Do I have a total? The $87, right? Because that's how much she's going to spend, equals 87. And that's exactly what they put down here. Okay? They just wrote it differently, but this form, we're going to see this a lot. So, just wanted to kind of roll through how they got it. What we were doing last week? Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Can I press thing or are you going to freak out? I'm good. Okay. What we were doing last week, Wednesday. Stop it! I need to get x by itself. And I'm going to do that with inverse operations. So, first of all, I don't know about you, but just having the dollar signs in there kind of wigs me out. So I'm just going to start like this. Because the dollar signs, maybe you think they're an extra variable, maybe you goof and turn them into a 5 or something like that. I just want to get rid of them, and I know that my answer is going to be like this whole thing's in money. All right. If I want x by itself, I got a 4 and a 15 that got to go away. Who do you want to go first? The 4 or the 15? Now, most kids are going to say 15, and that is the easier path. I'm going to write the thing. Don't write the thing. I can divide by 4. But remember what we said about math? It's kind of communist. What you do for one, you do for all. Which means I would have to do this. And I'd have 87 fourths is x plus 15 fourths. And then I would have to get rid of my 15. Except now it's not 15, it's 15 fourths. And I got fractions everywhere. Blech. Now I can deal with fractions. There's nothing wrong with it. But I know that y'all don't like them. That's why we always tell kids it's easier to get rid of the constant first. So y'all said 15. How do I get rid of that 15? Right? If it's a positive 15, I need a negative 15 to balance it out. I want everyone, look straight forward. Raise your right arm. Drop your left arm. Who dropped their arm? I said drop your left arm, not your right arm. Ah, gotcha. I'm just playing Simon Says on you. All right, I'm going to subtract 15. Gotcha. Y'all remember like old school Simon Says? Like, who was good? Who was terrible? Okay. So if I have 72 here, remember what we said we're going to do with that 15 minus 15? Not just cancel. I'm going to put a 0 because 15 minus 15 is 0. There's a purpose to that. It will help us to avoid screwing up our signs later. Yes, sir?
Can you just cross it out?
Define cross it out. Like, I want to know how you cross it out. Because there's a reason. Like,
because last year, once we got like a 0, we were just told to just cross it out. And
okay.
It tells you that it's 0.
Okay. I'm looking for placement, so thank you. The reason I want to be careful with it is, let's say I have something like, where's my gun? Where's the Nerf gun?
Throw it. You can share them if you want. Don't give them all in one say if you don't.
Let's say I had this instead. I still want to get rid of 15, right? I'd still subtract it. Still 72. So here's why. Like, I'll see kids do this. What'd I screw up? The negative. Okay, so you can do this, and I like that. To make sure that that negative stays put, you got to be careful with it and Just, right, like the negative. If you want to cross it out like that instead of a 0, and that's your jam, and that's how you remember it, do it. Okay? The reason that I use the 0 is because as I complete the loop, like this is just me physically working with occupational therapists, is when you complete the 0, you naturally go past that negative and you leave it there. Like you kind of close the loop, so the negative has to stay. Whereas if I just whomp, I might accidentally cover it up. Okay? So that's a me thing. That's a thing that I tell kids because in the past I've learned that might make or break a kid. That might be the thing that works for them. You do what works for you. Okay? Yeah, if you just want to cancel it out like that. What I don't want to see you do is that. Why might I now get confused? Well,
Because of the add subtract sign.
well, I mean, 15 minus 15 is 0, so I don't need to add or subtract sign. I literally just put a giant X up there. What happens if that wasn't a 4X, that was a 4? Now if I see a 4 and a big honkin' X, I might accidentally write 4X. Okay, so it's all these little things where I'm going to tell you to do a certain way. I'm not going to force you to. These are things that having either taught or tutored this exact thing since 1997, I know these are things that kids screw up. And these are little tidbits that we've picked up along the way to help us with that. Okay. It also comes into play in the next step. In the next step, what is still with x? What is 4 doing to x? They're multiplying, right? It's all hugged up on there. Whenever they're smashed together, they're going to multiply. So I need to divide to get rid of them. Okay, I did right. We got 18 here. Another reason that I put a 0 here is because I know 15 minus 15 is 0. I can also now show that 4 over 4 is 1. Sometimes I'll have kids try to cancel out the x. They'll say 0 there. But it's not 0x, because if it was 0x, then I would have nothing. It's 1x. There is 1x remaining. There were 4 of them. Now there's 1 of them. Okay, it's all little stuff. But it's little stuff that might make the difference between you making the little mistake all the time and getting frustrated, or maybe it's the thing that helps you get past the little mistakes, get a little confidence. Okay? But these two-step equations are where we left off. Hey, I just got a 18. X equals 18. What does that even mean? Okay.
You spent 18.
What was the X in this?
The flowers. We don't have the cost. The range cost.
Okay. We've talked about this a little bit before. I've really been hammering on this with my algebra half that comes in right after you. I actually tell kids the very first step that you should do is go to the question at the end. Because it tells you what you're even trying to figure out. It tells you what your variable is. How much did each arrangement cost? So if I got x is 18, I don't just say x is 18 and move on with my life. I say what? How much did each arrangement cost? Don't just say 18. $18. 18 per arrangement. which, if you've ever had to order flowers for someone, is actually super cheap. Because, man, do they charge money. Like one of those little, here's a vase, and it's got a little poof of flowers in it, and then a bunch of different colors and what all. Just one of those costs you like $20 is cheapo. That's like going to get neon dyed daisies at Safeway. Normally that'd be at actual flower shop with like 50, $60. That's just around here. You go to larger city, 80, 100, easy. That's little ones. I say this because I've had to do that a lot. So, flip it over. You got 9 problems. They're all two-step equations, like that. Add or subtract the thing, multiply or divide the thing. It does say check the solution. How do I check the solution? Well, yeah, see if it works, but how? Okay, plug what if I said x is 18 on that last one, I should now be able to come over here and say 87, does that actually equal 4 by 18 plus 15? And I'd grab my calculator and say 4 times 18 plus 15. And if it comes out as 87, I know I did it right. You always go back to the original. So you have 9 problems of solve and check. And then down here, 1, 2 word problems. That's it. You got teachers in here to help you. Okay?
Is music acceptable?
Is what?
Music?
If you're working, yes. If I see you screwing around on your phone or your laptop, no. Okay? So, I'm going to pause that. I'm going to give you time to work. What we got there? 9, 10, 11 problems. 3, I'll give you about I'd say half hour is more than sufficient. Should be. 3 minutes a problem. Vocabulary, you just look at the words in the front. Okay?
So 7 through 15, right?
All of them. Yep. Through 20.
Oh my God.
You're doing all of them. But I'm saying we're going to check in a half hour. Okay? I'm going to give you time in class to work on this. Music is fine. But no distraction. The first game I see, the first text box I see open, you chatting with someone, anything like that is gone. And never again. Okay? We're not at that level of trust yet. So, I'll throw some tunes up here. Do what you're going to do. We'll come back together and make sure that we did it all right. All right? Okay, back to your seats. Oh, you can hang on to it and turn it in with our next quiz, or you can do that.
Okay.
All right, folks. I see 11, 12 non-vocabulary problems. I see 12 students. Volunteer or get drafted. Everyone is going up there to do something. Everyone's going up there to do something. Okay. Put your hand down, Landon. Okay. Odds 2, 4, 6. Kevin. Which one you want, bud? 9. Okay. Show me what you're working with, bud. I'm going to just kick back. The whole lot of you were doing really good with these.
What's color green?
Green goes to purple.
Okay.
Okay. So who's got to go first? All right. So because it says plus 8, we're able to subtract 8 from both sides. I love that you're showing the cancel out the 8s. Good stuff. And because it was dividing by 4, we multiplied by 4. Okay. And the b is 48. That is very true. There were several of you I worked with where those fraction-looking ones, they looked kind of intimidating to begin with. But after you did one or two, wasn't it just, oh, I just multiply instead? Right? Wasn't as big of a deal. Okay. Odds, evens. Geneva. Which one you getting?
8.
Okay. Get him, kiddo. Said you volunteer, get drafted. Y'all coming up. You can't actually rest your hand on the board. Yeah. Okay. How did you know to subtract 7?
Positive.
How do I know it's a positive 7? That's really it. You assume it's positive if it doesn't have the negative with it. Okay? It's kind of like the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, right? You assume that the person's in a good mood unless they hit you. Okay? All right, keep it going. And then 3 is smashed up on that y, so we have to divide. Good job. And we get y is? Ta-da! There you go. See? Gavin, you got one in mind?
7.
Okay. And that was one I saw a lot of you kind of threw you for a loop. Like, over to... fractions! Yes. Okay. Okay. See? You volunteer to go sooner because you're confident about the one that you're picking. Like, I know how to do this one, so I feel okay going up there. Okay. I like that you showed the cross out on the 2s as well. Some kids will just kind of leave it, but they're canceling out. So, nice. Who? What? Why?
I'm gonna go 16.
It's Chloe. Track style. Chloe. Chloe's up. AJ's on deck. Fine. Landed in the hole.
I'll go after Rooney.
Okay. There you go. All right. We got this. Okay. Which one you got, Chloe? Spite. 16. Ooh, that's something going for the word problem.
Oh, I didn't know how to do it.
But it went okay, didn't it? I hope.
No. Absolutely not.
3 pounds of turkey meat. So 3 times whatever the turkey meat is, right? And means plus, add together. 1 pound of the roast beef, which is $7. And all together, it's $25. You notice it was a rate 3 of the turkey meat plus 7 because I knew that I started with $7 worth of roast beef. Total, I knew that there's 25 altogether. Rate X plus start equals total. It's going to happen. Lots and lots. Subtract 7 to both sides. Divide both sides by 3. This is Fred.
Can I erase it?
Did everyone see the thing? Okay. What do we have? What does that mean? What does P equals 6 mean? Turkey equals 6. That sounds like saying fish equals waffle. Like, turkey equals 6 what? See, everything in that column is price per pound. So you say that the turkey is $6 per pound. Okay?
Huh? Me?
All right. Who's after that? AJ's up. Landon's on deck. And was Damien in the hole? Right? No, Caden. Caden. All right, what do you want, bud? Subtracted 7 from both sides. Multiply both sides by 3. B is 9. Close. Like Neo just dove back and the bullet zings past his glasses. What's a negative 3 times a positive 3? Negative 9. Okay. Everyone catch that. You got to watch your signs. Be careful on those signs. All right. Landon's up. Caden's on deck. Damien's in the hole. Yes. 17, he says. Ooh, someone's wanting to show off. 5 less than half a number. Now, we will take an entire day or two to just pound on word problems later, like how to dissect these, but we've talked about less than before in here. What does it mean when I say 5 less than? Uh-huh. But where does it go?
In front. The negative goes in front of whatever number.
Okay, yes, it's gonna. When I say 5 less than, I'm gonna take 5 away from a thing, so it's something minus 5. All right.
And then, all right. So I have 5 less than half. Half is equal to 1/2 or 0.5. I just use 0.5.
It's a terminating decimal. I'll allow it.
So I have 0.5 and then less than 5, so I'm subtracting 5. And then half a number is 13. 13 is what I'm supposed to get. So now after
Pause! Where's your variable? Okay, half a number. So it's half of the x. Continue.
Then I'm gonna add 5 to each side because this is a negative 5, so I'm adding 5 to cancel it out. Then I have 0.5x is going to be equal to 18, and then that divided x is going to be equal to 36.
How'd you get that? How do you just poof into 36? I don't see any work. Okay. You go away now. I want to bring... This is something that we're just talking about, right? Okay. If you didn't use 0.5, right here you just divided by 0.5, right? You just got a calculator and say divide by 0.5. What if in place of 0.5x plus 5 is 13, I said 1/2 x plus 5 is 13? Go away. Ew. Okay. So Landon says -5, -5. Calls that 0.5x is 8. And then,
No,
wait, did you,
because you're,
was it a -13?
yeah. No, it's positive. Oh, is it? Then you add. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Or was it -5?
Mhm.
Oh, it was -5. All right, never mind.
This is 5 less than half the number is 13. That counts as a correction, right?
Yes, that counts as a correction. Getting all like, just rub salt in the wound, why don't we? All right, I'll put it over there. So plus 18. Oh, no, it's not green.
You have to make it.
I got to make it green. It has to be green. Okay. If it's just 0.5 times x, there's no problem with dividing by 0.5. That's just nice in a calculator. I'll just grab a calculator and it tells me the thing. Okay. What?
Yeah, why did it turn out? And then
It's
equal to
green.
the equation. Well, green, and then when you put the equal thing, it turns green. X it looks like an X.
It looks
It looks like F. Bottom. XF 36.
Oh my god.
There you go. That's better.
We're good?
Yes.
Okay. What I wanted to bring up is if I add 5 and have 1/2 x is 18. Okay, this is what me and Hannah were talking about. You didn't even have it as 1/2 x like that. I think we had it as x over 2? Or was it 1/2 x? Okay. Well, both ways, right? Where we might start to get our I's crossed is if I do this. If I write it like that, some kids are going to go cross-eyed because this is called compound fraction, a fraction within a fraction, inception, okay? We've talked about it before. I'm going to say it again. Dividing by fractions is easy as pie. Flip the second and multiply. Please tell me you've heard that somewhere. Okay? So, dividing by a fraction is just multiplying by its reciprocal. You flip it. So instead of dividing by a half like that and getting all confuzzled, I'm instead going to say times 2 over 1. Times 2 over 1. Because now, 1 over 1, 2 over 2. Cancels. What number is under that 18?
1.
Right? I can write any number as a fraction by putting it over 1. Well, 2 times 18 is 36. 1 times 1 is 1. I don't need to write the over 1. So instead of multiplying or dividing by 0.5, I can multiply by instead just 2. Call it good. Okay. Who was up after that? Caden? Which one you got?
I'll go up again.
No. We got 12 kids. We're going to do 12 problems. I like the line. I never used to do the line like that. Like I do it sometimes. But I've got my algebra half class after this, and boy, are there some kids that they just have to have that line there to split up the sides of the equation. If that's your jam, do it. Okay, subtracted 23 from both sides, multiply both sides by 9. And yeah, it's a big number. It's a big number. Ain't pretty. Sometimes your answers are going to be big numbers. Sometimes they're going to be itty bitty fractions. Other times they're going to be, yeah, it gets funky. Damon.
I got the same answer as well.
Yep. What you got, bud?
15. No, 14.
Okay. Subtract 15 both sides. Get that y term by itself. I like that we remembered the negatives still with the 10. Okay. All right. 15 from both sides. Divide both sides by negative 10. What is a negative 30 divided by a negative 10? Okay. So we got to be careful about our signs. The negative is kind of the bane of the math student. I want to ask a very specific question. I hope you all have a calculator on hand. If you, yes, because we're going to change this. Got a very specific question, and I'll have kids who run across this and they say no solution, and they're wrong. Very wrong. That's it. That's all I'm going to change. Now what? Who's got to go first? Okay. Now, what I'll see kids do is they'll say, one, you can't just move the equal sign because you feel like it. Okay, now let's say Kai wanted to punch Landon. Okay? Like y'all remember First Avengers when Hulk and Thor stand next to each other after their scrap in the hangar, and Hulk's just like sends Thor flying through a bulkhead. Okay? Kai's gonna do that to Landon. But here's the problem. Caden's in the way. Can they just through Caden into Landon? I mean, like, maybe you're just that strong, and sorry, Caden. You're just gone, dude. It doesn't work that way. You can't just through him because you feel like it. I can't just move the equal sign because I feel like it. And I see kids do it all the time. Okay. So if I can't move the equal sign, then that means the equal sign is here. Yeah?
If we add 25 to negative 10, we could get 15.
But I can't add to something that's multiplying. Okay? You ever seen two neighborhood dogs getting their groove on? You try to add something to that? That's awkward. Okay? I can't just add into something that's multiplying. I will not take that reference further. What's left on this side? 0. This is also why we write the 0, or why I do, because if I can show you that that's actually 0, then I can show you it equals 0. Now, I'll have a bunch of kids who say, well, negative 10y equals 0, so no solution. Like, it equals 0. There isn't a number there. 0 is a number too. Don't discriminate. What happens when I divide by that negative 10? What is 0 divided by 10? 0, right? So that I see 10 kids over here. You guys don't get anything. I have a box of pizza in front of me right now with 0 pieces of pizza in it. And I'm going to share it with all 10 of you. How much do you get? 0. I can divide 0 by as many things as I want. It's still 0. So I would have that. It's going to pop up at some point. We are going to run into this. Put your phone away. We still got time. Who's left? Kai, Hannah, Dylan,
What?
Paxton.
I'm getting drafted.
Who's getting drafted? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 1, Dylan. The dice have spoken, dude. Which one you doing? Which one haven't we done yet?
I don't know.
I don't think we've done 10.
We haven't done 12, have we?
We haven't done 10, 11. Come on.
Alright.
Did you just kill it?
Going off the rails on the crazy train. Okay, yes, add 5 to both sides. Divide both sides by the 9. Can anyone read that number?
No.
That's supposed to be a 2?
I don't know.
Y equals 2. That's y equals 3.
There we go.
Okay, yes, it is 2. You're good.
Alright. So,
What's up?
yeah.
What?
Scary.
Yeah. Um, what have we not done yet? We haven't done 11, 13, 12. 11, 12, or 13? Kai and Hannah. You said 12? We did 13? Oh.
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Okay. Dope. You said you got 12?
Yeah.
Get him. Fight.
That's what we voted. True classy individuals do rock, paper, scissors, scissors, lizard, Spock. What?
Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Never heard of that.
No place.
It was actually been around since the 80s. They just popularized it. Okay, we subtract 1 from both sides. If I have a 0 and subtract 1, you're flat broke and you borrow $1. -1, right?
She spent $60 on me on Halloween. 64 to get that.
On what?
Wow, mooch. Okay. What I like about this is Hannah immediately went for times the -5. If I want to get rid of a negative, I have to multiply by a negative. Okay. I can't just leave the negative there and say -k equals a number. I don't want to know what -k is. I want to know what k is.
Yeah.
Ta-da! KB5. All right. We're actually about to go ding here. So we're going to end it there. You should have this page done. No homework for the weekend. You're going to have like 3 straight days of no algebra. So, well, it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Come back Tuesday, and you haven't had homework that whole time. So, enjoy it.